Weege Show. I found a race. I found a race that did not get canceled due to coronavirus, COVID-19, and that is Grand National Cross Country here in Georgia. So I headed on up. They had the full deal. About 1,500 people here this weekend. Ran the normal race length, ATVs yesterday, bikes today. And their series is not even postponed. The next round, they have a problem with the place they're going to, has decided not to hold the race. But there could be more races yet to come, at least in this series. As for everything else, this has been probably the wildest 72 hours, maybe in the history of sports, when you consider all the fallout, all the things that changed, all of the things that seemed like you had a handle on it in the morning. And we're gonna run through that here, all brought to you by, of course, Racetech, Gold Valves, suspension plusher, more bottom resistance, and better traction, and all made and engineered in the USA. I'm gonna go talk to this guy. Why do I have gear on? I rode sweep today at the GNCC. I followed the guys around. I've been a last place guy my whole life, so why change it now? Jason Raines, did you take the win today?
Yeah, buddy. Just for you.
41, 42, what are you at?
41.
41. Yeah. Why do you keep trying against these kids? You're racing the 125 class, so they're probably what, teenagers?
He's 17 to 21, I'd say.
17, 20. That's half your age, you know that.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's I think we all do it for the personal reward.
I see. And because your real job is the demo rides.
Yep.
So is this even like a business proposal, or is this just, I want to do it?
I just, I figured I ride with my daughter and train with my daughter nonstop, so she pushes me.
Yep.
And she needs a training partner, so that's my motivation. You know, give her somebody to train with and ride with.
So she's still in the youth division?
She moved up to the big bike this year. She rode with you.
Wait a minute. What size bike does she ride?
125.
Whoa. So you're on equal equipment.
Yeah.
How does it break down when you ride?
Well, that's why I'm riding a 125, so she had no excuses.
Okay. So far so good for you?
Yes, sir.
Holding off the youth in your class and your daughter.
Yep, that's right. It's never ending. You gotta keep out there.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure on you.
But you remember when you were announcing at the GNCCs?
Oh, yeah.
Rodney was 40.
Your age.
Yeah, and he was racing front row.
Yes.
So I got no excuse.
No, I know. Yeah, you should have overhauled the whole thing today.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll get an old 2003 YZ250 and maybe you would do
Bring
that.
back the old memories.
Yeah, that's right. Jason Raines. All right. Yeah, so he won the 125 class today, the FMF 125 class in GNCC. 3 hours, not bad for 41. If you want to try a Yamaha motorcycle, Jason Raines is the master of the demos. He's literally, every weekend he's not at one of these, has a huge demo of every single Yamaha dirt bike, and he's in charge of it. That guy has been grinding in this deal for 20 some years now, but that's kind of GNCC life. No one here, I can tell you, is worried. And I'm not a scientist, and I'm certainly not here to play politics, so you probably already have your opinion about the coronavirus anyway, so what am I gonna say that's gonna change anything? I just know this. The bouncing ball throughout this week of what was on and what was canceled and what was gonna run without fans, like I said, probably the craziest week in sports that we've ever seen. And I got a first-hand view of it because on Wednesday I was in Daytona for Media Day of American Flat Track. I was scheduled to announce American Flat Track's TV debut, round 1, Saturday night in Daytona. So we had Media Day where the riders take pictures for the TV cameras and get their headshots done and all this stuff. And by 9 in the morning, everything seemed good. Then word started to come in. Ooh, what's going on with the NCAA basketball tournament, you know, Final Four, Elite Eight, those games. What's happening with the NBA? And as far as Flat Track is concerned, way at the very top, what up, Griff? Way at the very top, they have influence from NASCAR. It's all somewhere at the very, very top of the pyramid, somewhat the same. So they also knew that NASCAR would have a big decision to make, and that would eventually affect how maybe some of the races at Daytona for flat track and road racing went. So it was a bouncing ball. At 9 a.m. Wednesday didn't seem that serious. By the end of the day Wednesday, suddenly we saw the NBA going from a few games playing without fans to then suddenly by Wednesday night, no games. That's a pretty big deal. NCAA tournament, how's it going? See, dude, get rid of this big thing. All you need right here. Almost idiot proof.
Yeah,
almost.
I'm not about the vlog life though. You've got the vlog covered.
Okay. If I'll go to Wolf for the polished stuff.
How many laps did you do?
A solid lap and a half.
Solid lap and a half.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the sweep guys don't ride as much as I thought they did. They take a lot of downtime. Let me announce a little bit. Yeah, what did I say? Sweep. Yeah, so by the way, the GNCCs, the way this works is you have a guy on staff following around the last place rider all day long. So if someone gets hurt or their bike breaks, run out of gas, they get stuck, someone on the crew can keep them going. So I joined the sweep crew. We took off last place in this afternoon's race for the Pro A and B riders. And the first lap was actually super fun. Track was mint as far as it was super rough and it was difficult, but that's typical GNCC, but it was rideable. It was fun. And then my man Jared Bolton, who does the sweep riding, said, all right, we got the first lap going. These are big boys out here. They know what they're doing. So I said, okay. I went over and helped the Racer TV crew announce the race. And then the last lap, we went back out again. The track was unbelievably brutally hammered, and there was about a half hour of rain, a steady rain during the race. So now it was both rutted, whooped out, soft, slimy, slippery, tree roots, everything. It sucked, and I honestly couldn't even do it. I did half of it, and I said I was hoping to get back here by the time these podiums are going. If I have to do another 20 minutes, the podiums will be long gone. And also, I suck at riding in these deplorable conditions. Several hundred riders pounding several laps of this track, and then rain thrown in. That was right there at the limit of my abilities to actually ride it and enjoy it and not just turn it into a survival run. So good job, sweep crew. They saved themselves to the middle laps of the race, maybe to be strong by the end because they needed it. Anyway, the race is being canceled. So by Wednesday, we heard that NBA was done. That was obviously pretty big. And the NCAA college basketball tournament went from playing without fans to not playing at all. That's a big deal if you really think about it, because they could have just postponed what's known as March Madness. Maybe just said, hold on, we're gonna look into making it May Madness. But the fact that they didn't, the fact that they just canceled it straight up, that's billions of dollars lost. Those are seniors in college who do not get the chance to come back ever. Their careers, as far as winning a national title, are done. That's heavy to deal with. So that was very alarming. And then of course, we started thinking, how will it affect our world? Whether you're a fan or someone like myself who has to travel to events, and what events am I even going to go to? Now my plan was to go to Indy on Friday for press day and our live show. What's up, guys? So I had to make it back from Daytona to home in Charlotte, drop off the family, go to the airport, fly to Indy. I was really getting worried that if I flew to Indy, I would not be able to get back to Daytona to announce Flat Track on Saturday. So Thursday was a long drive and negotiating with my guys, Chris Kiefer, Steve Mathis, Jason Thomas. Should we do the live show? Then we heard Indy Supercross was running without fans pretty early in the day Thursday. And then by late Thursday, we heard it was now not running at all. So that was very, very alarming. And what does it mean for the rest of the Supercross races? 24 hours after that, we found out the next couple of rounds were done. Seattle was already gone. Foxborough, Denver, Detroit also out. The official announcement is that Monster Energy Supercross is postponed. I have heard, talked to some teams, hey, maybe we could get the entire Sam Boyd Stadium in Vegas for a month and run a bunch of races there, maybe without fans, just to get some rounds in. But look, this is a very fluid situation. It is changing in a hurry. And just because that's what I heard them talking about Thursday night doesn't at all mean that that's what's actually going to happen. The only 2 rounds of Supercross not canceled or postponed so far are the final 2 in Vegas and Salt Lake. The Vegas race taking place at the end of April. Woo! Woo! Enjoy it, boys. The Weege show, yeah, they like it even in GNCC. That final race in the end, Salt Lake City, and in Vegas at the end of April, the world's gonna be a lot different by the end of April. Were you guys scared at all, or you just come and have fun anyway?
Just come and have fun. That's my little boy Trip. Rick, say hi.
What up? Wow, you got a nice setup back here.
Yeah.
Who needs a motorhome?
I know, right?
No, motorhome, you're good.
Right. Hey, we're glad to be here.
You guys both rode?
Yeah, I rode the 3 hour. He rides the micros.
Okay, your last lap, how bad was the track by the last lap?
If I was a little better shape, it's fine.
Stop it, dude. I went out there with a sweep crew, I could barely even do it.
Hey, it was just,
seriously?
I just couldn't hold on my arm, you know what I mean?
Right.
But the track itself, if you could just pick lines.
But if you were fresh, no problem.
It'd have been easy, yeah.
All right, that's just me, it's not the track, it's just me. All right, now I learned my lesson. By the end of April, the world's gonna be a lot different. Either this thing is going to be full-blown, everybody you know has it, or you know somebody that has it, which that's the thing. I know that not everybody knows somebody that has it now, but they all talk about the curve. The curve doesn't go like this, the curve goes like that. So by the end of April, we could be in a real heap of trouble, or maybe they flattened the curve, or maybe there was nothing to worry about in the first place. Again, you already have your opinion on this. But I do know that to try to predict how Supercross will end, how Motocross is going to begin, and then all these other sports. When will the NBA come back? Nobody knows. NCAA is done. And Motocross, when's it going to start? Flat track. They said the Daytona race was postponed, not canceled. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And suddenly what has happened is it has taken everything that you want to bench race for, everything you want to think about, like the championship and points and all that. You can't think about it. You can't talk about it because it could all be irrelevant. Eli Tomac might already be Supercross champion. It might already be over. Or there might be a few more rounds. How do the riders and teams approach it? Do they continue to train? They continue to ride? Nobody knows. And that is the strangest thing that I think any of these sports have ever had to deal with. There's always been a calendar. There's always been a schedule. The challenge always seems difficult, but it's actually quite simple because at least they know what they're dealing with. For the first time ever, most athletes in most sports don't. And the GNCC folks are lucky their schedule is going to go on. I said there were no complications or problems this weekend. Everything went okay. It was a great battle right down to the end, by the way. Caleb Russell just dug it out. I thought Stuart Baylor on a Sherco was going to win on a Sherco in only their third race in this series. He almost took the win. He led the whole race until the final lap. It was a great run. Yeah. But in the end, these are the only athletes that know, okay, it didn't work out this time. I'll get them in a few weeks. If you're anybody else, you're just left in a guessing game. But you don't need to feel bad for anybody. You don't need to have sympathy, because the reason that all these things have been postponed and changed is for a much larger reason than anything to do with racing. I mean, myself, I'll tell you right now, that would have been a nice feather in the cap, nice bullet on the resume, and a paycheck had I been able to announce Flat Track on NBCSN Saturday night. But I can't be mad that that was canceled. This is a much, much bigger deal than any of that. And you've noticed the NBA players have been smart to use your social media to say, stay safe, everybody. Don't complain. They're not complaining about the way things have gone. So that's probably the smart move right now, because even though this isn't something that has affected a ton of us yet, we do not know where we're going to be in a couple of days, in a couple of weeks. It might turn much more serious, and I believe that's why they're doing the things that they're doing. It's very hard to chase something you can't see and something that doesn't seem to have arrived yet, but that's the great unknown, the greater unknown. Forget the racing series that are done right now and who's going to be champ and when are these sporting events going to come back. The greater unknown is, how is this COVID-19 going to play out? And normally we never have to get into playing science or anything like that as we analyze sports, but this time they've combined into one, except for one series. But they're still having fun here in GNCC. Oh, sun's out. Track's probably mint now. Maybe I'll go do the second half of the sweep lap. Thanks for watching the Weege Show. We'll do more of these somewhere, somehow, analyzing something, I don't know what, while we wait for the world to return to the way it used to be, if it ever does.